Brand new episode of Wednesday Refocus at 7. For those of you who have been following this show for a while, you would know that this is a live show where we talk to people who are in interesting and offbeat careers and we try to retrace their career steps so we can learn from their journey as well. For those of you who are new here, welcome and thank you so much for being a part of today's show. For today, before we get started, let me play the intro video because it has been a long time since it has been a long break since I also did this show. And I'm so happy that after 2 months, I'm finally back with a brand new guest. So today's guest is someone who has had a very interesting journey. He has been self employed right from the beginning of his career and he has never had a job. And his name is Rahul Choudhary, who is a marketing strategist and a consultant. But let me invite him on this show and allow him to introduce himself in his own words.
Um, this is Rahul, founder
Hello.
of Beef Up Media. I create marketing systems, and so they can basically everything I do is related to online. So yeah, that's pretty much.
Okay, thank you so much, Rahul, for giving the introduction of yourself. I'm very curious to know about your whole career journey. Like, how did it start? How it's going? So, please tell us the story of how it happened.
Okay, it's going to be quite a long story. So you guys have some time.
Oh, I think there is some network connection issues, but I'm pretty sure Rahul will be back. So thank you so much for bearing with me. And for people who are watching this live right now, let me tell you that this is going to be a very interactive show. So you can ask your questions in the chat here, and I'll be happy to reply to all of them. If you have any questions for me or Rahul, please let us know in the chats. Yeah, Anshuman is saying that Rahul's voice is breaking up bandwidth. I suppose there is some bandwidth issue, but please do bear with me because this is going to be a very cool show. So, since Rahul is not here, let me give a small introduction about, how I know Rahul. So, if you have read Rahul's LinkedIn post today, recently I went on a trip to Himachal Pradesh and I was staying at a hostel, and me and my friend, we were waiting to check in at the cafe, and Rahul was already staying there. So we started talking, and he was supposed to leave the next day. But since we met and there were a few other guests as well, so Rahul extended his trip and we ended up spending a lot of time together. We went to a party as well. It was a very interesting trip. And when I met Rahul, I was so curious to know more about his journey because he has started his marketing agency and his consultancy business right after school. So he never went to college, he never had a degree, he never had a proper job, and he has only been self-employed right from the beginning of his career. And that's why I was so curious to know about his journey, and I'm pretty sure it would be inspiring to everyone who's listening as well. Oh, and now I think Rahul's net is back, and Rahul is back. Hello, Rahul. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I don't know, screen paused. So yeah, can you guys hear me now clearly?
Yes. Please let us know if you can hear us now. Uh, Rahul, can you please reintroduce yourself?
Yes. So hi guys, this is Rahul again. I am still the founder. So yeah, for now, strategies, marketing systems for businesses, and so yeah, they better leads, make more sales, and get uh still breaking.
Okay,
Why
your
is this
voice is still breaking. That's what Vaishali said. Okay,
happening?
how to fix it? That is the biggest issue right now.
please make a practical video on.
No, no. I think maybe we can,
Mm-hmm.
if it's not clear, then maybe we can repeat. So
Let me know if it is this.
yeah, I can hear you properly now, but I hope, even during the show, I can keep hearing you.
I am using an external mic. Earphones are not going. I have an external microphone, so you hear me properly.
Yeah, I can hear you now, but let's hope it stays throughout the connection, throughout the video. So, people, if you miss something or if you want Rahul to repeat something, please tell us
Mm-hmm.
in the comments as well. Somebody saying it's a driver problem. Do you understand what that means, Rahul?
Yes, yes, I do know what. I am not. I am on my Mac, so
Maybe you can try joining from your phone. That would be cool, I guess.
uh, use earphones. Okay, wait.
Okay, so Rahul is off again, and thank you so much, people, for bearing with us. These kind of problems they keep on happening, and there is no solution as of now. But I hope that when he comes on phone, the audio is better. But until then, let me explain why this show Wednesday Refocus at 7 was absent for so long. So, first reason was I started this show as a part of the LinkedIn Creator Accelerator program. During that time, during the 10-week phase of the Creator Accelerator program, I had a great blast talking to so many cool guests. But once the program ended, I had very little motivation to continue this show. Every time I thought of inviting a guest, I always thought that, what is the point of doing this show? Why am I even doing it? I shouldn't do it. All of that self doubt, imposter syndrome that we always get. I think if you are a creator or if you are an entrepreneur, you would know that constant doubting yourself and questioning if it even has any worth. But then I realized that the comments that I was getting on this show was extremely valuable, and also the kind of people that I was introducing, it was inspiring to me. So I'm pretty sure it would be inspiring to everyone who's attending as well, because the goal behind starting this show was that so many people in India, they are stuck, either they are stuck in a job they hate, or they are spending so many years of their life preparing for some exam or preparing for one particular job because they believe that that's the only option in the world. But actually that's not true. Currently in 2022 India, there are so many opportunities, so many ways we can make money, we can start a side hustle and we can earn from it, but many people are not aware of that. And this was the reason why I started this show, so that anybody who feels stuck or anybody who feels that their career is not going in the direction that they want to, they can always start a side hustle and make it into something more permanent. That was the motivation behind this show, and that is the sole reason I invited Rahul, because who better than Rahul, someone like Rahul who has started an agency at such a young age and has seen success as well. uh, on that note, Rahul is back. Let's see and let's hope the audio is better now. Hello, Rahul.
Yes.
Welcome
Hi,
back.
hi, hi. Hi. Can you guys hear me now? Let me
Yes, I
know.
can definitely hear you now. So, people, if you can hear us, please let us know in the comments if Rahul is audible now. Maybe, Rahul, you can reintroduce yourself a little bit for people who are joining now.
Okay. Yeah. So, hi everyone. This is Rahul Choudhary, and for the third time, I am still the founder of Before Media, and I create marketing systems strategies for business who want to uh, like grow online, get better leads, make more sales, and uh, have repeat customers. So yeah, that's pretty much what I do for now. And let's see what I'll be doing in the future, but that's it for now.
That's cool. That's cool. Thanks for introducing yourself again for the third time. And thank you, Vaishali and Sasirekha, for letting us know that it's audible. So now
Yeah,
we
yeah,
can
thank you
proceed
guys.
with the show. And thank you, Rahul, for coming on your phone. I think this is a lot better now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I still need to fix that problem for some future uses, but this
Yes.
works for now.
All right. So, can you please tell us a little bit about your career journey? Like, how did you think of starting in this career, online marketing? How did it start? How did you get the idea? And how has your journey been so far? I know it's a long question, but I know we have time as well. So, please share your story.
Yeah, 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 of course. So yeah, it started when I made an impulsive decision of dropping out of college. So I had no idea what to do, but I did know that this is something I don't want to do. So I dropped out of college, and now I had to prove myself because in India, if you are dropping out of college, you are kind of an outcast. So uh, I still needed to prove myself. So I borrowed
Everybody will
some.
tell you it's a wrong decision that you
Yeah, yeah,
quit college and you don't have a degree.
yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. So yeah, I needed to prove myself. So and at that time, I didn't want to burden my parents. Like I didn't want to take money from them for anything else. They had already invested a lot of money in my education, so I didn't want to burden them. I was feeling quite disgusted with myself, so I went to my friends and I borrowed some money from them to make some quick cash. And the first option I went with was trading in the stock market, just like most people. So that's how I started. But I was making some money for a few months, but it was quite time consuming. I had to sit on the screen when the market opens at 9, from that time until 3 when the market closes. So it was quite hectic. And when I like started devoting my time to something else, I started losing money in the market. So I thought, nah, this is not going to work. So I started looking for some other options, and then I came across blogging. I took a course on Udemy. It was a very cheap course. It was for something 600 something about blogging on a WordPress website. So I took that course and then I created a blog and I started writing about business and self development and time management, all sorts of stuff. And it kind of took off in 6 months. And I started making money in 6 months from ads and promotions and affiliate marketing. So yeah, after that, uh, like to make that blog more popular, I had to learn some sort of marketing. So I was into Pinterest, email marketing, and social media marketing as well. But after some time, like I started getting bored. I started getting bored of writing. So I decided to sell that blog. So in 1.5 years, I sold that blog. But like I started to have a keen interest towards marketing. So I started to teach other small bloggers how to market their blogs, so like they could reach a wider audience. And I was doing that for quite a long time, and then I got bored of teaching as well. So then I thought maybe I'm more of a thinker and doer. So like doing that for 2 years, I suppose, uh, I had quite a vast network of people who were business owners, marketeers, service providers, all sorts of people. And I was in a paid group, like very nice paid group. They were very nice people in that paid group. So I reached out to them like, uh, I have done this and now I want to do this. I want to help you with your funnels and email marketing. And if you need my help, just let me know. I won't charge you any money, but if you are satisfied with the work, you have to give me some free testimonials and stuff. So a few people reached out to me. I started working with them. They gave me some free testimonials. And from there, I just started getting referrals. I created my website. I put those testimonials over there. And then I started reaching out to people. Cold emailing was my major source, major lead generator for a long, long time. So yeah, from there, that's what I've been doing. I initially I was a freelancer. Right now, I consider myself a freelancer as well, even though I own a registered agency, but I still consider myself a solopreneur, a freelancer. So yeah, that's what my journey has been so far.
That's very cool. Like starting from trading, going on to blogging, then teaching other bloggers, and finally to, consulting. That's a very cool and interesting journey you've had. So, Rahul, if you had to retrace the steps in your career, or, if you had to start your journey today, what would you do differently? Because you already have the knowledge, you already have the experience. So, if you could
Yeah.
go back in time, is there something you would do differently?
Yes, yes. One thing I would do differently is I would start focusing on my content, like content for my own personal brand, uh, as early as possible. So I neglected my content for a long, long time. I was reaching out to people. I was depending on outbound strategies to get clients instead of inbound strategies. So yeah, that's definitely what I would do differently. And other than that, I think everything has been pretty much great so far. I have loved each and every part of it, and I don't think I would want to change anything at all, apart from the thing I just mentioned.
That's very cool. I think that's true for any business owner as well, right? No matter what you do, how you make money, it is so important to build a personal brand. It's so important to create your own content so you are visible
Yeah,
online
yeah,
because,
yes,
like
yes.
you mentioned at the beginning, you relied on your network for testimonials. That's
Hmm.
definitely a wonderful way to start, but obviously, everyone's network is limited to a few people,
Yeah,
right? If we
yes,
want to
yes,
reach
yes,
more people, personal branding and creating content and being visible online is a
yep,
very important step.
yes,
That's a very
definitely.
cool point.
Yeah,
Thank you for sharing about that. So
yeah,
regarding
definitely.
your agency, regarding your registered agency, can you tell us a little bit about how did your path turn towards entrepreneurship, and what was your first experience as an agency owner like?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so when I started freelancing, uh, I knew from the start that I don't want my name like Rahul Choudhary associated with a particular industry, like a particular thing, just with marketing. So I knew like if I want to start freelancing, I need a separate name for my business instead of just Rahul Choudhary. So most freelancers just start with their own name, which is good, but I didn't want to do that. So I needed a separate name for my business. So I started looking online for names, and well, you know, this world is quite huge, and most of the cool names are already taken. So I was looking for synonyms, acronyms, whatever possible related to growth, and I came across two words: amp up and beef up. So amp up was already taken, so I thought beef up sounds good. Like, you know what beef up means, like making something, like beefing something up, like growing something. So I thought this sounds like a
Anybody who
pretty
goes to
cool
the
name.
gym will know what beef up means, like
Yeah,
grow
yeah,
muscles
yeah.
and get
Exactly,
bigger.
exactly. Yeah, get bigger. So yeah, I thought this is a pretty cool name. This is unique. Nobody has it so far. So yeah, let's just do that. So my initial motivation to do that was to separate my name from my business.
Okay, one question there, Rahul. Is there any
Yeah.
particular reason that you decided that you would not go on with your own name and you would have an agency? Do you have any, like, did you have any thinking, logical thinking, or it was just your wish?
No, no, no. Actually, I change my decisions quite quickly. Like I jump from one thing to another quite quickly. So, for example, if my name is associated only with marketing, and if somebody looks online for Rahul Chaudhary, they will only see all sorts of talks about marketing related to me, right? So that's why I wanted to separate my name from my business. Like if I, in the future, if I want to do something else, start some other business, I can separate that from my name as well. Like for example, you know, I am creating travel content for now. So that
Right.
too I am doing with a separate name.
Right, that's very cool. That's actually a very cool reasoning, and it makes a lot of sense. Like, if you're someone who has more than one passion, more than one interest, and you
Exactly,
want to do
exactly.
more
Yeah,
than one thing, being
yeah,
associated with one thing can actually harm you.
yeah.
Like it can, if you build a very strong personal brand in one particular niche, it's very hard
Hmm,
to
hmm.
switch to the other niche. On
Yeah, yeah,
that note,
exactly.
Rahul, why don't you tell us a little bit about your travel content as well? If people want to find that, where can they find you?
It's just a hobby for now. I don't even call it a side hustle. It's just a hobby for now. But if you guys want to see my travel content, you can go to Instagram and search for that guy with a backpack. That's my username on YouTube as well. That's my username as well. So yeah, if you guys want to check it out, go ahead and yeah, see, maybe give a
Here's
follow
one
or something. I
interesting
would appreciate it.
story. The interesting story for everyone who's listening. When I saw Rahul's Instagram page, the name that guy with a backpack, the first question I asked him was, "You must have been really happy that you got this username, right?" And he said that he had blocked this username 2 years ago, but
Yeah,
couldn't travel because of COVID and finally started traveling now. So that's a very cool name as well. Like, strong personal brand there as well. Like, anybody searches backpack, they're going to find you. So it's a very nice strategy. Anyway, moving
yeah.
on to our question. My question was, what was your first experience like as an agency owner? So do you have anything to add to that?
Uh, yeah. I mean, I have like enjoyed working with clients. Like I truly enjoy what I do, like strategizing with my clients, like thinking about stuff, thinking how I can help them, how I can reach a wider audience, like working on systems, on tools. I truly enjoy that. But yeah, it's not like it's always been up and up. There has been some downs as well. There has been months where I didn't have any clients. So it's a journey. I mean, everybody faces that. I mean, I'm sure you must have faced that as well. So it's just a
Right.
part of the journey. Like you have to be prepared for that part. Like I made sure that I mean I know like in the near future there can be months when I don't have any clients at all. But right now I am prepared for it. Like for example, uh, in September I was traveling for the entire month. I wasn't working at all. I thought I would work, but that was a really bad idea. I I wasn't able to work, but I was prepared for it. I had some backup plans. So yeah, that's what I would like to say. Like, uh, you have to be prepared for the downs. Don't just keep enjoying the ups. Be prepared for the downs as well.
Wise words, very wise words, and very true as well. Very true for everyone who's on to some online business, because you cannot guarantee success. You have to be prepared for bad days as well. On
Yeah,
that note, we have a question from our audience. The question is from Avula, and the question is,
yeah.
why did you choose marketing?
Why did I choose marketing? Yeah. So like as I said, when I was blogging, I had to learn some marketing to market my blog and reach more people. So when I started learning marketing and getting into consumer psychology, like uh, why people buy, why people make certain decisions, why people take certain actions. I I like I started going deep and deep into that, and that's how I chose marketing.
That's very cool. And I guess do you, like, since we're talking about marketing,
Hmm.
I know this is a little bit offbeat question, but can you give our listeners some tips,
Hmm.
if somebody wants to do marketing, or if they want to sell something, since you have
Yeah.
been in this business for such a long time, can you give
Hmm.
us a few tips on how to convert somebody who's just visiting your website into a paying customer?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Sure. See, getting a customer, like for me, marketing just comes down to a few things. I don't like to complicate stuff. I like to keep it simple. So for me, the first key uh, important thing is getting to know the customer, the ideal target client. Like you have to go deep, as deep as possible. You have to know what they want, why they want it, like what they search online, where they hang out, in which Facebook groups they are, what they post, what kind of words they use. You have to know everything about them. And this is like one of the most boring tasks out there in marketing. Like nobody likes to do research at all, but that is what makes the key difference. Like if you can do the proper research, you are going to nail your marketing. Definitely. So the first thing is getting to know your ideal target customers, finding a pattern, whatever pattern there is in like their tone in their voice, whatever they do online, and then just replicate it in your website copy. Convey your products or services message in their voice properly, and that's pretty much it. As I said, I don't like to complicate it that much.
This is actually very interesting and very valuable, like know your target audience and then convey in their voice. So I remember
Yeah.
reading this writing advice by Michael Thompson.
Hmm.
And advice was that, he worded it in this way, that you need to get into bed with your customer. So you need to
Yeah.
know what your customer is thinking at 2 a.m. at night,
Yep.
and
Yep.
what
Yep.
is bothering them before their sleep, what is their
Yep.
biggest pain points. And once you
Yep.
know
Yep.
that, you can create something and you can, word it in such a way that it can, attract them and they can turn into a paying customer. So that's a very valuable advice. Thanks for sharing it with us, Rahul.
Yeah.
So my
One
next
thing I
question
would
is, sorry, please go ahead.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. One thing I would like to add here as well is that marketing for me is just reaching the right people at the right time with the right message so they can purchase the right product. It's all
Right,
about the timing.
of
Uh,
course.
like you cannot even expect 100% of your target audience to convert at a particular time. Even if they all match your demographic, psychographic, everything, they are not going to convert at a 100% rate at any particular time.
Right.
Yeah, so it's just about the timing.
Time.
You have to
Yeah.
see at what time what messaging is required.
True. That's very true. That's very important as well.
Yeah.
On that note, thank you, Jatin, and thank you, Vivek, for your kind words and your support. Really, really means a lot. As you know, I've been back at this after 2 months, so thank you so much for your support. And my next question to Rahul is: if somebody who is listening right now, if somebody had to, be where you are today, if they
Hmm.
had to make a career out of being an online marketing strategist,
Hmm.
what tips do you have for them?
Okay, yeah. So I would just give three tips. Number one, network like your life depends on it.
Okay.
Because yeah, if you build a solid network, half of your problems are going to be solved automatically. Hang out with the big players, hang out with people who are doing better than you, hang out with people who are doing less than you as well, because they are going to help you in some way as well. Secondly, focus on your content from the start. Start writing. Just pick a platform where your ideal target audience hangs out: Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter. Just pick a platform and start creating there. And focus on quantity in the beginning instead of quality. I know this might sound controversial to some people, but in the beginning, if you start focusing on quality, there's not going to be enough people to like appreciate the quality of your content. You need the quantity to attract some people in the beginning, and then you jump to quality so that you can keep them on board. So yeah, that would be my second advice. And my third advice would be keep open to learning. Like if you are in marketing, you can never truly be a marketing expert. There's no such thing as a marketing expert. You always have to be learning, even though the basic principles of marketing remain just the same, but the perspectives keep changing. Like my of marketing might be different from someone else's. So you can listen to my perspective, you can listen to someone else's perspective as well, and then you can combine that both and create your own perspective. So be open to learning, be open to listening to people, and yeah, you will be good. You will do great.
These are really great tips. So summarizing for the listeners. Number one, network like your
Yep.
life depends on it. Number
Yep.
two, start creating content and building a personal brand. And number
Yep.
three, be open to learning, be open to changing your perspective, and always keep
Yep.
upskilling yourself, right?
Yep. Yep. Yep.
That's it. That's really cool. And I would like to add to that quantity element that you mentioned. I am also
Mm-hmm.
a huge believer that when you are starting your content creation journey or your personal branding journey, if you
Mm-hmm.
focus on quality, if you think that you will wait for the perfect post to write your first piece of content,
Yep.
then
Yep.
it's never going to come, because perfection is a myth and you are going to be always waiting. But if you
Yeah.
focus on quantity, you are going to learn what your audience wants from you. You're going to learn what works for you on the platform. And eventually, the quantity that you post is going to lead to quality. So
Yep.
yeah, definitely, that's very valuable advice, and thank you so much for it. So yeah, I'm now the question I'm going to ask Rahul is going to be the last question for this show. So
Okay.
people who are listening right now, if you have any questions for Rahul or for me or regarding marketing or personal branding or content creation in general, please do leave your questions in the comments. We would be happy to answer that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
Sure.
coming back to you, Rahul. So, this was a very informative and very interesting show, and you shared us some really, really valuable tips. Um, I would like to ask you, if I left out anything, or if there's something else that you'd like to add, or if you have any tips for our listeners, please share them with us.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Uh, yeah. Yeah. I would like to add one thing. Like, if you are creating online, or if you are an online creator, or creating content, building a personal brand, see, everybody has two sides. I mean, that's what I believe. Like, everybody has a good side and everybody has a bad side. So, like, more often than not, most people depend on their good side when they are online. They pretend to be like extra good. They stay away from controversial stuff. They like try not to take stand when you need to take a stand. So, but if you truly want to stand out online, you have to rely somewhat on your bad side as well. Like, I'm not saying just start bullying people online, or like start talking about shit, but uh, you need to take a stand. You have to like hold the ground when it needs to be held. Otherwise, you will just get lost in the crowd. Like, if you go to LinkedIn and scroll down to some of my posts, I talked about some controversial stuff, and some people started uh, like posting negative stuff, but I held my ground. Like, they started posting, commenting things so that I can change my thoughts, but I still held my ground because I truly believe in what I say. So
Right.
yeah, so you have to do that if you want to stand out. Otherwise, you will just get lost in the crowd.
I guess, yeah, I guess what you're saying is, be authentic, be who you are, and
Yeah,
don't only show the good side. If you
yeah,
have some
yeah,
controversial opinions, talk about them as well. And if
yep,
people
yep,
try to bully you, hold your
yep,
ground. Don't change your stand on it.
yep, yep, yeah.
That's a very interesting take, and it is very, it takes guts to do that, because uh, since I'm also on this journey of showing uh, myself online, it's very hard
Hmm.
to be vulnerable, it's very hard to be authentic, but it's also very important, because that is what will make you stand out. Otherwise, if you just keep repeating what everyone else is saying, then nobody's going to remember you. But if you have some controversial take, then definitely that's going to leave an impact on the people, and that's a very, very valuable point, Rahul. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right.
So we
Seems
have a
like,
question from Sasirekha. The question
yeah,
is how to build a good network. Since Rahul said network like your life depends on it, so the question is how to build a good network. More than 500 connections on LinkedIn doesn't mean that I have a good network. So how to build one?
yeah, yeah, yeah. It is a really good question, Sasireka. Thank you very much for adding that. See, numbers don't mean a good network. When I started posting on LinkedIn, I had more than 500 connections as well. I deleted all of them. Yeah, because I had never like spoken to them. They were just random people who I connected to like a few years back. So that was not my network at all. Your network is built when you talk to people, when you truly engage with them, when you have like actual conversations. Like, uh, for example, you see my post on LinkedIn, you truly like it. What most people do is they react to the post and they write a comment like "good post, great post," and then just leave. So if you
Yes.
expect to build your network like this, it is not going to happen. You have to add something to that post, right? You have to like start the conversation. You have, like, if you comment on 5 of my posts daily, like I post 5 times a day. And like if I am a big creator, like I'm not a big creator, but if someone is a big creator and you want to network with them, you comment on their post for 5 days or 7 days or 10 days, they will definitely notice you, right? Maybe then you can DM them and ask for something, start the conversation. It doesn't have to be like entirely professional. You can ask some question in some different area as well. So yeah, that maybe like keep talking to them, and this way, I mean, this is quite time consuming. This is not something easy. It takes time, but it is worth it. Like as you said, 500 connections on your LinkedIn doesn't mean that you have a good network, but 10 people that you have had actual conversation with in your network, that means you have a good network. So those 10 people will always trump the 500 connections that you have on LinkedIn.
That is a very, very valuable suggestion, Rahul. It's like, uh, have genuine conversations, I guess, right? That is the whole point, right? Have
Yeah.
conversations. And instead of just posting random comments, add value to their posts. And after doing that for a few days, you can send them a DM. That's a very cool strategy. And,
And yeah,
if
yeah,
I
and
have to, yeah, please go ahead.
yeah, I would like to add something here as well. I mean, don't do it with like very popular, like very big creators, like very big names in your industry, because most likely they are going to use a social media manager or something like
Right.
that for their
Or
uh,
they'll get like
content.
1,000 notifications in a day, and
1,000
your
notifications in a day,
notifications would be
you are
lost.
going to be lost. So do it with medium creators, like who are slightly above than you, but who manage their own stuff. These are the people who do actual work, and these are the people who are going to notice you.
Right. That's a very valuable strategy, and thanks for sharing, Rahul. So, just a moment. Yes. So yes, I people, if you have any more questions, please do leave them in the comments, and do let us know how you like this session. I for one found it very valuable because I learned some really cool stuff, and I heard some very interesting perspectives from Rahul. So regarding marketing, especially, like knowing your target audience, and knowing in the language in which they search and writing in that language on your website, that's a very valuable tip, and I'm definitely going to remember that, because it is true for writers as well. Like if you know your ideal target audience who's going to read your post, and if you can write in that language, then that's going to be more relatable to the people as well. So that's a very valuable advice. That is my biggest takeaway from this as well. And thank you so much, Rahul, for sharing this. And thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in and sharing your lovely questions and your lovely comments. I hope you enjoyed this show. And thank you, Rahul, for your time and your valuable comments.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're welcome, Anna, and thank you everyone for joining. And I apologize for all the trouble that happened in the beginning.
No, it
And
went smoothly towards the end, so no issues and
so,
that.
yeah, 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 I'm glad to hear that. So yeah, thank you everyone for joining. I hope I was able to add some value into your life. And yeah, good luck and do good and stand out.
Definitely. Thank you, Rahul. Bye.
Yeah, bye. Take care, Anna.
So that brings us to the end of today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and please do let us know your biggest takeaway in the comments. And if you have any questions for Rahul as well, you can reach out to him on LinkedIn. His LinkedIn, you can find his LinkedIn as I have tagged him here. So feel free to reach out. Stay tuned for more, because next week I'll be back with another guest. And that's all for today. Thank you so much, and stay awesome. Bye.